Namaste and Jai Jai Sri Krishna to all of my universal brothers and sisters and family members and associates. May Lord Krishna bless you and grant you these two things which we all yearn for: peace and happiness. Now I'm going to be talking to you more about ethics and what is right and wrong. I am not saying this. Rishi Kanad, the author of the Visheshik Shastra, says in the opening sutra, that which elevates you and brings you near to God is right. That which brings you down and takes you away from God is wrong. That which is done in strict accordance with the Shastras and the Scriptures is right. And that what is done against the Shastras and against the Scriptures is wrong. All 4 Vedas, all 6 Shastras, all 11 Upanishads, all 18 Purans, and all the other scriptures in our Hindu philosophy are all instruction manuals. They're instruction manuals. Ramayana, Gita, Mahabharata Adi are all instruction manuals for us to follow. This is one way of defining the terms right and wrong. To work in accordance with the divine will is right, and to work in the opposition of the divine will is wrong. Plain and simple, common sense. It is very difficult for the man in the street to find out what exactly the divine will is in certain actions. That is why satsanga is very important. To stay in the midst of good company is very, very important. Because Lord Rama said, Binu satsanga viveka na hoy. Without satsang, you will not be able to discriminate between right and wrong. That is why wise sages declare that people should resort to Shastra, learned Pandits, and realized persons for consultation. It is very, very, very important to do satsang. When Lord Rama visited Mother Saraswathi, the first bhakti is satsang. There are 9 bhaktis, and number 1 was satsang, being in the presence of good company. A pure man who has done Nishkam Karma Yoga for several years and who is doing worship of Ishvara for a long time can readily find out the divine will when he wants to do some certain actions, because his actions are pure. That's why it's good to do Nishkam. Nishkam means doing selfless actions. Selfless actions leads to God, and self-full actions lead to the complete opposite. He can hear the inner shrill silent voice. Ordinary people should not attempt to hear this divine voice, the voice of the silence, because in order to be at that level, according to Yoga Vashishta, is that once the mind has become pure and free of any kind of taint, you will be able to hear the inner voice, which is complete silence. Those people who are impure, whose minds are tainted with clutter, may mistake the voice of the impure mind for the voice of God, and then they will be deluded. First, make sure that one's mind is completely free from any kind of taint. The inner voice is complete silence. The voice of God is complete silence. Absolute nothingness. From nothingness came everything, and everything goes back to nothingness. That is silence. Selfishness clouds understanding. It clouds understanding. Whatever you do, whatever you say, do it as an offering to God. Let's see what I have in my notes. And on my notes I also have, if a man has got even a tiny amount of selfishness, he cannot detect what is right and wrong. Because he wants something to benefit himself. Alright? A pure, subtle, and sharp intellect is needed for purpose. The Bhagavad Gita describes the nature as sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. You can read it for yourself. In chapter 18, verse 30, 31, and 32. It talks about intention. What is your intent? Right? Why do you want to help somebody? You want to help something because you realize that this person is God, or do you want to help somebody to, in order to acquire fame? Say, oh, this is a good person. This person is helping that person to acquire name and fame. No, you want to help people because you want to realize that that person is God. You want to help people with your thoughts, words, and deeds because you want to realize, you want to be at that level that all God is all in all. Just like in the Isa Upanishad, Purna Madha Purna Midhim, God is all in all. In chapter 18, verses 30, 31, and 32, it clearly says, it talks about intention here. That which knoweth energy and abstinence, what ought to be done and what ought not to be done, fear and fearlessness, bondage and liberation, that reason is pure, or Bharat. That by which one wrongly understandeth right and wrong, and also what ought to be done and what ought not to be done, O Bharat, that reason is passionate. And that which is enwrapped in darkness, thinking wrong to be right, and seeth all things subverted, that reason, O Bharat, is of darkness. Again, it talks about your intention. Lord Krishna says, that which knoweth energy and abstinence, that's complete energy, is in all and it is not in all at the same time. ठीक है? Energy that ought to be done and what ought not to be done, fear and fearlessness, bondage and liberation, that reason is pure. Without fear, fearlessness, that reason is pure. That which is done by wrongly understanding, that is Rajasic, and that endowed in darkness is Tamasic. It is black and white in the Gita. Make your intentions pure. Make your thoughts pure. For example, if you are walking down the street and you accidentally crush some bugs, you will not acquire any sin, even if you crushed 13 or 14 of them. Because your actions are pure, you did not mean to do it. But say, for example, you take a magnifying glass and you burn bugs and insects and other harmless creatures, you are acquiring a great amount of sin because your intention is impure. It all goes back to one thing, your intention. What is your intention? Okay? It all talks about your intention. You have to be free from fear and fearlessness, free from bondage and liberation. Your mind has to be pure. Then it will be pure. That is the only thing that is pure. Intention. Thank you very much for viewing my YouTube vlogs. May Lord Krishna bless you and guide you in the right path. May Lord Krishna guide you all these two things, peace and happiness. Thank you very much for viewing my YouTube blog. Please email, comment, and subscribe. Please do not ask me any questions that are controversial, like, again, abortion, affirmative action, the death penalty, same-sex marriage, legalizing marijuana, capital punishment, or anything that has to do with controversial issues. I don't want to dwell in politics in any shape or any form. Please pertain your questions to Hinduism and Hinduism only. May Lord Krishna bless you. And remember, chapter 18, verse 30, 31, and 32. Read that chapter for yourself, understand it, and meditate on it. Meditate on it. Again, chapter 18, verse 30, 31, and 32. Jai Sri Krishna.